A long time ago, in the West Midlands, a baby boy was born. He had a mother named Harriet, a father named James, and an older sister named Jane. Jane was 3 years older than him. Harriet and James decided to name the baby boy William. William Afton was born in Birmingham on January 24th, 1934. Birmingham was popular for manufacturing. Harriet was a nurse and James was an engineer, but due to the stock market crash, a lot of people lost their jobs and money, including Harriet and James. People used what they had and reused their items. However, Harriet and James had other plans. While Harriet's cousin Hazel babysat William and Jane, Harriet and James would go around stealing people's items and robbing markets. And even better, killing people. They never got caught, though. Soon enough, they taught Jane how to steal, but she wasn't very good at it. She almost got her parents arrested, so they never paid attention to her again. Later on, they taught William how to use a revolver. He was really good at that. William became the parents' favorite. This made Jane distance herself from the family, including William. Harriet and James never cared. They were just glad that their genes had passed on to their younger son. Once the Great Depression ended, James was drafted into the war. Throughout the entire war, William became closer to his mother. While James was in the war, Harriet wanted to find out what William was good at and use it for evil. She tried fitness. William didn't mind fitness, but it wasn't his thing. Engineering? William didn't like fixing tires. What was he good at? Harriet decided to ask him. Harriet asked William what he liked. William only thought of the robots he saw in his books. Harriet thought that it was stupid since robots didn't exist. But then she thought of an idea. She thought that he could be the first to make one. Harriet mentioned the idea to William. William, though, wanted to make his own kind of robots. Throughout his entire school life, including college, he has been learning engineering. However, he also produced a liking for science. He dropped out of his first year of college in the UK and flew all the way to America to pursue that dream. While walking through the streets of Utah, he bumped into somebody, a man around his age. They talked for a while. The man told him that he was studying engineering. William told the man that he did study engineering, but transferred to science. The man introduced himself. His name was Henry Emily. William and Henry instantly became friends. Billy finished college and flew back to the UK. William and Henry stayed in touch. William instantly wanted to focus on science when he flew back home. However, something happened that would change him forever. Once again, he's walking. He sees a beautiful woman. She had carrot gold hair, green eyes, and tan skin. He fell in love instantly. He went up to her and asked her if she would like to go on a date with him. She said yes. 1950s was easier to date. Get your game up. The woman introduced herself as Helen. Fast forward, they got married 2 years later and had a son a year later named Michael. 5 years later, they moved to Utah. And then 4 years later, Harriet gave birth to twins named Gary and Elizabeth. William loved his family, but he couldn't give up on his dream. Just after the twins were born, William decided to open up his own fall festival. Once he did, only a couple people came. It wasn't a huge hit, though. He received tons of criticism that either the suits that he made were too scary for the kids or that the activities were too simple. William did not know how to make it right until he remembered that his friend Henry studied engineering in college longer than him. He gave him a call, and Henry yelled at him for not telling him that he was even in Utah. Henry and William worked together to fix the fall festival, and 2 years later, it was a hit. Instead of mascot suits, there were scary animatronics that would chase you around the maze, a haunted mansion, and a very terrifying graveyard. Henry and William were a great team. William decided that he didn't want just to have a small get-together. He wanted to create his own company. Henry agreed on this idea. Now with their newfound ideas, they got to work. Their idea was to make a company that would bring families together, to entertain them, to satisfy them. But how? You see, Henry grew up on a farm, and William wanted to create robots. They mashed their ideas together and thought of robot animals. William was the brains, and Henry was the creative designer. I know what you're probably thinking, but William only went to an engineering school for only a year. True, but William is naturally intelligent. Probably got his brains from his mother. About 2 years later, they completed the restaurant, and after many failed attempts to get the animatronics to work, Fredbear's Family Diner was born. And then a year later, Abigail was born. Everything was going smoothly. William's children loved the restaurant. He had success. His children had friends. He had a wonderful family. Everything was perfect. Until it wasn't. 6 years later, Garrett was 9 years old. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia. He believed that William's animatronics were out to get him. Michael bullied him for it. Garrett was bullied until one day, it was Garrett's 13th birthday. Michael decided to surprise Garrett for his birthday. Michael brought Garrett to Fredbear's Family Diner, and the whole neighborhood was invited. He and his friends carried Garrett and brought him to the Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. Garrett got closer and closer until Michael and his friends stuffed Garrett's head into Fredbear's mouth. So here's the thing. Since William's animatronics aren't exactly the best yet, they had a sensitive endoskeleton. The slightest bit of moisture would trigger the endoskeleton spring locks. Since Garrett was crying, his tears triggered the spring locks to go off, hence why Fredbear bit down on Garrett's head. Garrett's frontal lobe was damaged. Michael immediately called the hospital. Afterwards, Billy was also called to the hospital. William was not happy. When they got home, William was so mad that he punched Michael in the face. This was the beginning of William's aggression. After Fredbear's Family Diner was shut down, William and Henry decided to open up their next creation, Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. After William's youngest son died, he started having paranoia and decided to kill Henry's only daughter, Charlotte. Charlie was 3 years old at the time. She was kind and a well-raised girl. However, her kindness was not guaranteed to get back because Charlie was thrown out of the restaurant. Henry built the marionette to protect Charlie from harm. The marionette was trapped inside of a giant present when a small group of kids kicked Charlie out of the restaurant. It was raining really hard. William was driving by the restaurant when he saw Charlie trying to get inside. This was when William took his chance. He drove up to Charlie, slayed her, and left her in the back of the restaurant. William quickly drove away so nobody could find out. After a while, the puppet was freed from the huge present and soon found Charlie's lifeless body in the back of the restaurant. The puppet laid right next to Charlie until suddenly they fused together. William was so happy. William was doing great. William owned 2 restaurants at the same time, Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria and Circus Baby's Pizza World. What is William's obsession with pizza? William had high-tech animatronics back at Circus Baby's Pizza World, and since Elizabeth was so eager, William brought Elizabeth to his restaurant. Elizabeth admired William's creation, Circus Baby. She had red hair, blue eyes, and red clown clothes. I don't know why that creation, but alright. Elizabeth thought that William made Circus Baby in honor of her, which was sort of true. William lately has been paying less attention to his family and focusing more on his work. Elizabeth believed that she was William's favorite child, but in reality, William was becoming less and less tolerant of his family. Elizabeth saw how fascinated William was towards Circus Baby. Elizabeth became jealous of Circus Baby and wanted to see her up close. And Abigail, William's youngest daughter, wanted to see Funtime Foxy. William always told them never to get too close to the robots, but both girls did not listen. They both planned to take their chances with their idols. Elizabeth visited Circus Baby, and Abigail visited Funtime Foxy. They thought that they were friendly, but turns out that they weren't. A random claw came out of their stomachs and pulled them inside. Due to the force and rough collision of the pool, they both died. Once William found this out, he decided to murder some more children. He went to Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria on June 26, 1985. He put on his spring bodysuit and lured some kids into the back room. Susie, Jeremy, Gabriel, and Fritz. Susie died first. She was immediately killed after trying to scream her way out of death. Gabriel saw this and ran away to hide. Jeremy, however, matched Billy's aggression and tried to fight him to protect Susie. He still died. Gabriel was immediately found and then killed. Fritz ran around the back room for a few minutes before getting killed. Then a couple minutes later, he learned his twins, Cassidy and Andrew. It was Cassidy's birthday that day. She was manipulated into getting in a sensitive lock suit before getting crushed by the spring locks. Then Andrew was killed. But I know what you're thinking. But 5 kids went missing. Yes, but Andrew was forgotten. Plus, Andrew, Cassidy's little brother, Michael, was also killed as well. And as you all know, those little monsters become vengeful spirits after death. No, 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 no! Charlie actually gave the spirits life to retaliate against William. But how were they going to recognize William when all they saw was a yellow bunny suit? Oh wait, they couldn't! After killing those 7 children, he killed his wife and then went on to kill an additional 5 children. After Henry found out what William killed some children, he kicked William out of the partnership. That's when he left a to-do list for Michael. William ran away to ruin everything he worked hard for. He dismantled his robots for Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. Then suddenly, the spirits of the children he killed appeared. William then became so scared he hid in the spring bunny suit. He laughed so hard that the locks in the suit went off. He died and respawned like nothing happened. The only reason why he even came back alive was because he studied science for 4 years and discovered a substance called remnant. It was the year 1992, and Michael was discovering things that he's never seen before. His father's underground facility. After 5 nights, he died. He was used as a suit because those pesky circus robots hated the facility. After a while, Michael had enough of them hiding there, so he threw the tangled wires up. As Michael was laying there, dead on the floor, Elizabeth told him that dying was gay. Therefore, he woke up. I know what you're all probably wondering. Why did I skip FNaF 3? Because I did. Deal with it. It took a while later, though, for Henry to realize that William was still walking around like a zombie looking for food. He decided to team up with Michael to put an end to them. Henry trapped William and the rest of his family in a labyrinth. Henry was so bored that he gave a speech while he was burning alive. I know that he killed himself with a knife. Shut up. After burning to a crisp, William was burning again. Cassidy and Andrew, the twins, teamed up to create a personalized hell just for William. They made all of these creations retaliate against him. Even himself was attacking himself. Soon enough, Andrew wanted more. He got tired of showing only William just how angry he was. He wanted to show the world just how angry he was. He wanted to take over William's soul. Andrew eventually stopped tormenting William and decided to torment other people instead. With this distraction, William made his escape into a virus. William escaped 8 years after being tormented in hell and turned into a computer virus. Yep. He also took his complete insanity with him and escaped the computer. Even after all of this chaos, he still wants to go and cause more. He also got somebody to hypnotize. Her name was Vanessa. She was under William's control. She went out to try and kill more kids, but she did fail. Many times. So yeah, the end.